Hey my rock stars, and today's exercise is going to be awesome. So this exercise right here is going to help revitalize your voice, and also it's going to help smooth out those vocal breaks, those pesky breaks in your voice that you don't know where they come from. Well, this exercise right here is going to help tremendously. What this exercise is called is the vocalizing straw exercise. That's right. This is a regular size straw. We'll get into that in a moment. But what this exercise does, it helps to put your vocal cords or your vocal folds into the most optimum position and shape. So you'll have your vibration, which encourages vocal efficiency within your voice. So this is why when you sing, you'll start to feel it, your voice getting easier to sing. It'll start being effortless to you. This is what happens when you start strengthening the muscles within the larynx. And so what that happens is when you start strengthening those muscles, it's going to start building that wall. Think of it as a wall of protection for your vocal cords. So you're building that, as well as your vocal cords are getting in alignment to where they need to be. So when all that comes together, you're going to have a more efficient voice, and you'll be able to really smooth out those vocal breaks that you're having. And so, like I said, what this does is it helps to reset your voice. Think of it this way: when you experience vocal fatigue, just like I would when I do 3 shows and then I come here and I might have a student to come in here and I'm teaching for an hour, and then so naturally your voice is going to get tired. So what I like to do is I like to use this method to kind of reset my voice to get it back into a proper alignment and placement. So that way you don't have your vocal fatigue. It relieves that and any strain or push that you might be trying to get. That's what usually happens is when your voice is tired, you tend to automatically push, and you do not want to push. You never want to push or strain. You just want to let that flow as efficient and effortless as possible. So getting into the exercise, here's what you do. There's 3 steps to this exercise, okay? And this, like I said, this is the medium-sized straw, just a medium straw. And my example would be to start this exercise with a larger straw. So let's take, for an example, a McDonald's size straw. They're a lot bigger in diameter, especially when you put it into a milkshake or something. So I suggest to start off with that size straw. Then you work your way down to the medium-sized straw, which is this. And then the last step is a coffee-sized straw. All 3 are different diameters, and which takes a little more effort each time you step down in diameter to the straw, which being the coffee straw is going to be the hardest. But by that time, hopefully, if you do this correctly, your vocal cords will be in the right placement. The muscles in your larynx will be strengthened to where it's in the proper placement. And so each time you step down, it's going to be it'll be a little bit easier once you strengthen. Once you get down to that coffee straw size, it's really going to be where your muscles should be able to handle that, right? So that, just think of it this way: is you wouldn't go to a gym and you're working on your bicep and you go ahead and pick out the heaviest dumbbell to start working out with. That's not good. You want to go with the weight you can actually handle at the time. And so that's the same way with the straw method. You go to the bigger because the airflow is not as tight, I guess you could say, because it's going through a bigger diameter. And so then that's why you go to the smaller one and then the smallest. So because that airflow is going to be concentrated. So when you do this exercise, also I like to use clear straw, clear straws, because you can see when the airflow comes out, you'll see that the straw kind of fogs up. And why this happens is because the moisture in the air that passes through your vocal folds, you're losing that air out of your body. And so that's why I'm such an advocate of water, getting back hydrated to whatever you do, as far as like vocal warm-ups, to vocal strengthening exercises, to this exercise here, to singing pre and post. You always want to get that intake of water, and throughout the whole day, because you want to stay hydrated 24/7. So what this is, we'll demonstrate now, is we're going to do this with a hum. And it's basically a hum with a siren or a glide up. So think of it into your talking range, your normal talking range, which would be like this. And that's what you do within the straw. So you want to support the airflow. You still want it to be a controlled airflow. So you're using your diaphragm, but you're blowing the air out through the straw with the hum. And so it sounds like this. And you don't bite down on it, you just put it right here. So it's going to be like this. And that's what that is. That's your siren. It goes up and down. So you want to do this a few times. And also, I'll say this, if you find a break in there, which it could be like that, that's where the area you want to work on with this hum. So it'll be, if it does that, you go, until it smooths out. That is where your break is. So you want to work on those areas until it's smoothed out. Then, once you do that, and you feel confident enough to go to the next step, which is the 5-tone octave. And it's basically like this. And you work up the scale, and you work back down the scale, and you work out those vocal breaks as well. So what this is doing is strengthening, like I said, your larynx muscles. It is putting your vocal cords in the proper placement. And it's going to be, when you do those and you get those aligned, it's going to help iron out, smooth out, and hopefully erase your vocal breaks. So do this. Add this to your warm-up exercises. And like I said, you can do this in your car. You can do it in the kitchen. You can do it at your desk. You can do it anywhere you want to. Just grab you a straw. Grab the correct size straw for your vocal needs at the time, your strengths, and then, like I said, you start with a bigger one, then you work your way to the medium, to the smallest. And that right there will help build your muscle correctly. Instead of going from point A to C, you need to go to point A to B to C to make this work correctly and to be much of a benefit for you. So I hope this helped you. Add this to your tool belt, and I will see you on the next time. Thank you.